I'd like to say thank you to Michael for inviting me to take part in this. When I was asked first, I thought about child ballads. It's not something that I really included or have included in my repertoire in the past, but I've since discovered that I actually do know quite a few of them. The first song that I'm going to sing is a jovial murder ballad, as the Lyons brothers term the child ballads. It's called the Sheath and Knife. I first heard this song sung by Tony Rose in Whitby in Yorkshire some years ago, and he did a lovely rendition of it and played it concertina. In fact, he moved me to tears. I just thought it was beautifully done, but I don't think I may do it as well, but show what it was. The Sheath and Knife. It is whispered in the chamber, and it's whispered in the hall. Oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair, that the king's daughter goes with a child to her brother, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. He has taken his sister out to her father's deer park. Oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair, with a yew tree bow and a rose slung fast across his back, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. And when that you hear me give that loud cry, oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair, shoot from your bow and arrow, and there let me lie, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. And when that you see that I am lying dead, oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair, then you'll dig for me a grave, put a turf at my head, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. And when that he heard her give that loud cry, oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair, a single arrow from his bow he suddenly let fly, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. Then he has dug a grave both long, wide and deep. Oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair, and he's buried his own sister with their child at her feet, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. Then he has gone back to his father's own hall. Oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair, there was music never go down to the broom anymore. Oh Willie, what gives you such pain? Oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair. I have lost a sheath and knife I'll never see again, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. There are ships of your father sailing on the sea. Oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair, that will bring as good a sheath and knife unto thee, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. Aye, there's ships of my father sailing on the sea. Oh, the broom blooms, Bonny, the broom blooms fair, but such a sheath and knife they cannot bring to me, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. The Sheath and Knife.
Molly's that.
As Rosie said, very heavy stuff, but I noticed that love goes through it all, love and jealousy of love. This is from the singing of Brigid Murphy in Forkhill in Armagh. I just thought it a lovely singing. She's lovely, gentle style, and Tom Mully recorded her in 1983, and I met her in 1987. We had a good chat, and with Patricia Flynn's prompting, she sang a lovely version of Johnny. But this is, it's known in Scotland as the Dewy Glens of Yarrow, and it's recorded a lot there. It's very, very rarely sung here, I think. So I have this from Brigid Murphy. There was a lady from the north, I ne'er could find her marrow. She was courted by 9 noble men, and her ploughed by John from Yarrow. These noble men sat drinking wine, the wine they sat a drinking, and each of them did make a vow to fight for her on Yarrow. Her father had but one plough boy, it was said she loved him dearly. She dressed him up in nobleman's clothes to fight for her on Yarrow. Those 3 he drew, and 3 he slew, and 3 lay sorely wounded, when her false young brother from behind a tree slew him with an arrow. Go home, you false young man, and tell your sister Sarah that her plough by John lies dead and gone on the dewy glens of Yarrow. Her hair it hung 3/4 long, and the colour of it was yellow. She tied it round his waist so small, and carried him home from Yarrow. Oh, Father dear, dig me a grave, and dig it long and narrow. My Love died for me today. I'll die for him tomorrow. Oh, daughter dear, dry up your tears, and think no more on Yarrow, for I'll wed thee to a higher degree than your plough by John from Yarrow. Oh, Father, you have 7 sons. You may wed them all tomorrow, but the sweetest flower that ever grew died for me on Yarrow.
Now, as I said at the start, when Michael asked me to take part in this project, I had a fair bit of enthralling to do to find songs that meant something to me and that were a way back somewhere deep in the past. This song that I'm going to sing now, probably I would have heard it back in the 60s maybe, or it's hardly that long ago. I think it
Don't tell your age, Rosie.
And it would have been sung by Joan Baez. I've heard a wonderful singer from Dundee in Scotland, Bonny singing Mary Hamilton. Last night the Queen had 4 Marys, tonight there are only 3. There was Mary Beaton and Mary Seaton, and a Mary Carmichael and me. Word is to the kitchen gone, and word is to the hall, that Mary Hamilton's born a babe to the highest Stewart of all. Arise, arise, Mary Hamilton, arise and tell to me, what have you done with your wee babe? I saw and heard weep by thee. I put him in a little boat and cast him out to sea, that he might sink or he might swim, but he'd never return to me. Oh, little did my mother know the day she cradled me, the lands I was to travel in, or the death I was to die. Last night I washed the Queen's feet, but gold all in her hair. The only reward I find for this, the gallows to be my share. I wish I could lie in our own churchyard beneath yon old oak tree, where we pulled the rowans and strung the gowans, my brothers and sisters and me. But why should I fear a nameless grave when I've hopes for eternity? And I pray the faith of a dying thief be given through grace to me. Last night the Queen had 4 Marys, tonight there are only 3. There was Mary Beaton and Mary Seaton and a Mary Carmichael and me. My son is an ardent fan of Luke Kelly, and again when I was approached about this project and I discovered that the next song was a child ballad, I was absolutely delighted. So I got on to Glen and I said, you won't have to teach me that song. I thought it was really nice that it was the son teaching the mother instead of the traditional way. So it's a song called The Unquiet Grave, and I'm sure there's bits in the notes about it. Is this the one or is it the other? I can't remember now. I think this might be the one that isn't so much sung in Ireland, as well known in England, or maybe it's another one, I can't remember. Never mind. You can read it in the notes yourselves. Cold blows the wind today, my love. A few small drops of rain. Never have I had but one true love. In cold clay he is lain. I'll do as much for my true love as any young girl may. I'll sit and mourn all on his grave, a 12-month and a day. The 12-month and a day being past, a voice spoke from the deep. Who is it sits along my grave and will not let me sleep? 'Tis I, thy known true love, that sits upon your grave. But I crave one kiss from your sweet lips, and that is all I seek. You crave one kiss from my clay cold lips, but my breath is earthy strong. Had you one kiss would not be long. My time be long, my time be short. Tomorrow or today, may God in heaven have all my soul, but I'll kiss your lips of clay. Look down in yonder garden, love, where we used to walk. The fairest flower that ever grew is withered to a stalk. The stalk is withered dry, my love, so must our hearts decay. But make yourself content, my love, till death calls you away. When will we meet again, sweetheart? When will we meet again? When the autumn leaves that fall from the trees are green and spring up again.
Well, this one requires a gloss, as Michael Longley would say, because I often think it's a fragment of a much longer song. In 1591, the Earl of Bothwell attacked the forces of King James II and unsuccessfully and retreated up north. And in 1592, the king sent his forces up, and he sent the Earl of Huntly and his cousin, the Earl of Moray, he sent Huntly to attack Bothwell and his cousin, the Earl of Moray. And he knew, they were supposed to capture them alive, but he knew that they would be taken and killed because this suited the king. The rumour was that the Earl of Moray was the Queen's lover. I had this from David Hammond from Belfast. Wonderful character, produced a wonderful album, The Singer's House, in 1977. And right on the back of the LP, if you remember LPs, Seamus Heaney wrote a poem for the LP called The Singer's House. And just, to mention Seamus Heaney, God rest him, I heard him many times. And the last line of the poem was, "Sing it again, man, we still believe what we hear." So, it's Bonny, Earl of Moray. There's a lot of Scots in this, but you'll understand it easy enough. Ye Hielands and ye Lowlands, wherefore hae ye been? Ye slain the Earl of Moray, and ye led him on the green. He was a broad gallant, and he played at the ring. The bonny Earl of Moray, he might have been a king. And lang may his lady look frae the castle down, the bonny Earl Moray comes sounding through the town. He was a broad gallant, and he played at the ball. The bonny Earl Moray, the flower among them all. And Lang made his lady look frae the castle down, the bonny Earl Moray comes sounding through the town. And woe betide ye, Huntly, wherefore did ye say, I bade ye bring him awa, but forbade ye him to slay? He was a broad gallant, and he played at the glove. The bonny Earl Moray, he was the Queen's true love. And Lang made his lady look frae the castle down, the bonny Earl Moray comes sounding through the town. I'm forgetting the music of the chairs. Thank you again. This is from the singing of, it's the Holland Handkerchief, from the singing of Nora Cleary, from the Hand near Dunogan in Clare, in County Clare. I had many a good night with Nora Cleary and her comrade in arms, Peggy McMahon, out in Carty's a Cour. Some people in Clare don't even know where Cour is, but we had great times. So I don't know much about the ballad. It's called Suffolk a Miracle as well. Jim McBride, in one of his great books of ballads from Inishowen, and someone sang it, and he said that child felt it was a wearisome, distasteful pain. But in spite of child, it has survived well. It's not in many collections, but the oral tradition has kept it alive. There was a lord lived in this town. He was a lord of a high renown. He had a daughter, a beauty bride, and the name he called her was his heart's delight. Many's the lord came courting her, but none of them could her favour gain. There came a man of a low degree, and above them all sure she fancied he. But when her father came this to know, for 50 miles he sent her away. For 50 miles he sent her away, for to deprive them of their wedding day. One night as Mary was gone to bed, and just slipping off her gown, she heard a voice of a deadly sound, saying, "Loose the bonds, love, that we have bound." Her father's steed she did well know, her mother's mantle she knew also. She dressed herself in rich attire, and away she went with her heart's desire. Now with her love she rode behind. They went far swifter than any wind. For about an hour and a little more, till he cried, my darling, my head feels sore. A Holland handkerchief she then took out, and round his head she wrapped it about. She kissed his lips, and these words did say, my love, you're colder than any clay. And when they came to our father's gate, a light, this young man said, a light, my jewel, and go to bed, and I'll see your horse in the stable fed. And when she came to her father's hall, who's there, her own father called. 'Tis I, dear father, did you not send for me by such a messenger, naming he? Her father swore that young man was dead. He tore the grey hairs down off his head. He wrung his hands and he cried full sore, and that young man's darling cried 10 times more. 'Twas early at the dawn of day, they went to the grave where that young man lay. Although he was full 9 months dead, a Holland handkerchief was round his head. It's a warning now, her own father said, to all young men and to all fair maids. For once their hearts and their vows they give, they ne'er should part them, so whilst they live.
This next song that I'm going to sing, I got from the singing of the great Jeannie Robertson from Scotland. I believe a version of it was sung here last year. I think Brigid, I'm not sure whether the tune or tunes are the same, different tune, not so bad. She told me the other day that the stories are the same, but hers is a happy ending, whereas mine doesn't. And I get kind of a bit fascinated by it because, you know, the gypsies came and your woman went away with them and he went after her and 7 gypsies got killed. Like, what happened to her? Had she no hand in the running away? You know, you'd have to wonder about these things. But anyway, isn't it wonderful how the gentry can get away with murder, as they say? And I know there are several versions of this. In this country they have the Regal Tiger Gypsies, and I think in America it's Blackjack Davy. On this tune that Jeannie has this song set to, I know that Karen Pulworth from Malinky sings the Roving Ploughboy to the same tune, but hers is a wee bit jazzed up, you know. And it was a nice wee tune, and it's a grand wee song. 3 gypsies came to our hall door, and oh, but they sang Bonny, oh. They sang so sweet and to complete, they stole the heart of Our Lady, oh. As she came tripping down the stairs, her maidens stood before her, oh. And when they saw her wheel-fart face, they threw their spell out our oh. When her good Lord came home that night, he was asking for his lady, oh. But the answer the servants gave to him, she's away with the gypsy laddies, oh. Come saddle to me, my bonny, bonny black, my brown is not so speedy, oh, that I may go riding this long summer's day in search of my dear lady, oh. Well, he rode east and he rode west, and he rode through Strathbogie, oh, and there he met a gay old man who was coming through Strathbogie, oh. Oh, did you come east or did you come west, or did you come through Strathbogie, oh, or did you see a queenly dame? She was following 3 gypsy laddies, oh. Oh, it's I've come east and I've come west, and I've come through Strathbogie, oh, and the bonniest lady that e'er I saw, she was following 3 gypsy laddies, oh. The very first night I crossed this river, I had dukes and lords before me, oh, but this night I must put in my warm feet and wait, and the gypsies are waiting before me, oh. Last night I lay in a fine feather bed, with my good Lord beside me, oh, but this night I must lie in a cowl corn barn, and the gypsies lying around me, oh. Oh, it's will you give up your houses and your land, and will you give up your baby, oh, and will you give up your own wedded lord, and keep following the gypsy laddies, oh. Oh, it's I'll give up my houses and my land, and I'll give up my baby, oh, and I'll give up my own wedded lord, and keep following the gypsy laddies, oh. There were 7 brothers of us all, we all were wondrous bonny, oh, but this very night we all shall be hanged for stealing the Earl's lady, oh. The Gypsy Laddies. He's mad to sing, mad to sing. So I'm going to sing another wee Scottish song. This song, the words of this song were written by the great Robert Burns, but I have anglicised them apart from the wee bit of a chorus, which I kind of kept in the Scottish dialect. I feel a bit uncomfortable. Although somebody did say to me, with me being from Ulster and all that, I could, do their Ulster Scots bit, but nah, I'm not bound my head. Lindsay. Oh, will you gang to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? Will you gang to the Highlands with me? Will you gang to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. To go to the Highlands with you, sir, I do not know how this can be, for I know not the road that I'm going, nor know I the lad I'm going with. Oh, lazy lass, you must know little, if you say that you do not know me, for my name is Lord Ronald MacDonald, a chieftain of high degree. If you are the Laird of MacDonald, a great one I know you must be, but how can a chieftain so mighty think on a poor lassie like me? But will you gang to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? Will you gang to the Highlands with me? Will you gang to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. To go to the Highlands with you, sir, would bring a salt tear to my eye, for to leave the green glens and woodlands and streams of my own country. I'll show you the Red Deer a-roamin', on mountains where waves the tall pine, and as far as the bound of the Red Deer, each moorland and a mountain is mine. 1,000 claymores I can muster, each blade and its bearer the same, and when round their chieftain their rally, the gallant MacDonald's my name. So will you gang to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? Will you gang to the Highlands with me? Will you gang to the Highlands, Lizzie Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. She has gotten a gown of green satin, she has kilted it up to her knee. She's away with Lord Ronald MacDonald, his bride and his darling to be. There's dancing and joy in the Highlands, there's piping and gladness and glee, for MacDonald's brought home Lizzie Lindsay, his bride and his darling to be. Lizzie Lindsay.
This is a version of Lord Randal, and it's often called Lord Randal. Famous all over the world. There's versions even in Manx and in Welsh, in Scots, in Spanish. Travelled very well. It's originally from, amazingly, Verona in Italy, from first version 1637. Was called L'Avvelenato, in the Poison Man. And you'd be familiar with it here as Henry, my son. And it's remarkable that the dialogue pattern has survived through all those centuries, like where have you been today? I've been out fishing, blah, blah, blah. What did you eat? And then there's a sequence of verses which would be, what will you leave your mother, what will you leave your brother, etc. This is a version in Irish. There's a couple of them. It's better known in Connemara and sung as Aron Hashkine. That's the song of the eel. So he ate an eel which was mashed up and poisoned. But the one I have is from Scarabray, the group from way back. If you remember Moray and Trini and Golan Mihal O'Donnell was in that group. Great singers. And this is Time Brochi Galore. It's much shorter. And I have an extra verse to what they use. It's from Cork. It's the last verse. Corager fan leum awokelino. Corager fan leum allegils a store. Ik fikes a faller a warino. Agus Corey Malaba, time broche golor. Cad dish the iner, awukalino. Cad dish the iner, aligels a store. De shikini niva flotini or Agus Corey Malaba time brocha galore. Call the doggish egg the water awukalino. Call the doggish egg the water ali hills a store. Mo vas mo quitala a warino. Agus Corey Malava time brocha galore. Call the doggish egg the grogyal of Bucalino. Call the doggish egg the grogyal ali hills a store. Crocart con a crocta is te ladir cor Agus Corey Malaba time broche galore. Caba latve corha awukalino. Caba latve corha ali hills a store. E down pull never a warring. Oh, Agus Corey Malaba time brocha galore. And the next one is really from Scotland and has never really been sung here. I heard just a snippet of this great woman singing. She's Jane Turriff, a Scots traveller, and she was on that great double album, the Muckle Songs. That means the big songs, and it was a double LP of classic Scots ballads. And then I heard other people, Dick Gahan sang it, and what's her name, Lizzie Higgins. But then years, 20 years later, I was in Edinburgh, and it's ironic. Edinburgh is mentioned in the song. Edinburgh is where the School of Scottish Studies comes from, and Hamish Henderson went up and collected her, and I bought it in Edinburgh. So there was a nice triple irony there. It was a CD of hers. It's, oh God, what's the name of it? Andrew Lammy, and it's, my goodness, Jane Turriff had 52 verses of it at one stage. The recording I have has 17, but I trimmed it to 11 for modern audiences. Anyway. At Millativdy there lived a man in the neighbourhood of Fife, and he had a lovely daughter fair, and her name was Bonny. Lord Fife had a trumpeter, and his name was Andrew Lammie, and he had the art to win the heart of Millativdy's Annie. Our mother called her to the door, "Come here to me, my Annie. Did ye ever see a fairer man than the trumpeter of Fife?" But at night when all was to their beds, all slept full sound but Annie, for love oppressed her tender breast, thinking of Andrew Lammie. My love comes in at my bedside, and love lies down beside me, but love oppressed my tender breast, and love will waste my body. It's up and down in Tivdy's glen, where the burn runs clear and bonny. I've often ganged beneath my love, my ain dear Andrew Lammie. Oh, what's the next one? He took himself to the hill so high, to the hilltop high o'er Fife, and he blew his trumpet loud and shrill. 'Twas heard at Millativdy. My love, I go to Edinburgh town, and for a while must leave thee. Oh, but I'll be dead afore ye come back in the green kirkyard of Fife. For her father struck her wondrous sore, and also did her mother. Her sisters too, they did her scorn, but woe wondrous sore, with cruel strokes on many, and he broke her back o'er the temple stone, aye, the temple stone of Ivy. O mother dear, go make my bed, and lay my face to Fifey, for it's there I'll lie, and there I'll die, for my own dear Andrew Lammie. This is the one that was rehearsed at 6 o'clock, about 2 verses or something. Anyway, it's True Lover John. It comes from the singing of the great Joe Holmes from Ballymoney in County Antrim. It's known as the Grey Cock or the Pretty Little Cock, and there's all sorts of variations on it and floating verses in it. But anyway,
we could float right off the stage.
Yeah, we'll give it a bash anyway. Start with anyway. Afterward. But good to know.
Yeah.
She can't get up.
And he can't get down.
It happened for to be on a cold winter's evening, the fair maid sat waiting alone. She was thinking of her father, likewise her aged mother, and also her true lover John. Young Johnny, he was sweet, and he promised her to meet, but he tarried an hour too long. He met with great delay, which caused him for to stay, and I weary waiting all alone. Young Johnny came at last, and he found the door was fast, and he slowly tinkled on the pane. This fair maid she arose, and hurried on her clothes in order to let young Johnny in. He took her in his arms, and off to bed they went, and there they lay talking of their plans. I wish this night, says she, this night would prove to be as long since the world first began. Fly up, oh fly up, my pretty little cock, and don't crow until it breaks day. And your cage it shall be made of very shiny gold, and your wings of a silvery grey. But this pretty little cock, so cruel as he was, he crowed out an hour too soon, and he sent my love away before the break of day. It'd been only the light of the moon. This fair maid she arose, and quickly followed after, saying, when will you come to see me? When the fishes they do fly, and the seas are run dry, and 7 moons shine brightly o'er yon lea. Oh, once I thought my love was as constant unto me as the stones that lie under yon ground. Oh, but since that I do find he has altered his mind, I would rather live single as be found.